The hardest part of no contact is not the silence. It is waking up every day without knowing what the silence means. You wonder whether she misses you, whether she checks her phone expecting your name, whether she rereads the last conversation, whether she remembers how safe, understood, or wanted she once felt with you. Then another thought enters your mind: what if she is not thinking about me at all? That question can make a man break every promise he made to himself. He checks her stories, he watches when she comes online, he studies captions that may have nothing to do with him, he asks mutual friends whether she mentioned his name. Then, late at night, he starts writing the message he promised he would never send. But before you contact her, you need to understand what may actually be happening inside her mind. Because her first reaction to your silence may be the exact opposite of her later reaction. And the moment when she thinks about contacting you is often the same moment most men destroy by reaching out first. No honest person can promise that every woman will miss you, regret leaving, or return. Some women reflect and reconnect. Some feel the loss but remain silent. Some realize the relationship was not right and continue moving forward. But no contact creates something chasing never can. It creates enough space for reality to become louder than pressure. And during that space, her mind may move through several very different emotions. The first may be relief. That is not what you wanted to hear. You wanted to believe that the moment you disappeared, she felt the full weight of losing you. But if the final stage of your connection was filled with long messages, arguments, repeated questions, emotional pressure, jealousy, or constant attempts to fix everything, your silence may initially feel peaceful to her. She no longer expects another paragraph. She no longer has to explain why she needs distance. She no longer feels responsible for calming your anxiety. She no longer has to defend every delayed reply. This relief does not necessarily mean she never cared. It may mean the dynamic had become emotionally exhausting. Think about what happens when a man feels a woman pulling away. He asks, "Are we okay?" She says she needs time. A few hours later, he asks whether she still loves him. The next morning, he sends a long explanation about why they belong together. When she does not respond warmly, he sends another message explaining the first message. He believes he is fighting for the connection. But from her side, it may feel like there is no room to think. Then he finally stops. The pressure ends. She can breathe. This is where most men panic. They see her posting normally, they see her spending time with friends, they see no visible sign of pain. So they conclude that the silence is not working, then they break it. But no contact is not supposed to make someone visibly suffer. It is not a punishment. It is not a test of how quickly she becomes emotional. It is the removal of pressure so both people can finally see the connection clearly. If her first response is relief, let the relief exist, do not interrupt it, because once the pressure disappears, she may begin separating the emotional weight of the ending from the actual memories of you. The recent arguments become quieter. The defensive energy fades, and without another message forcing her to respond, her mind has room to wander on its own. That is when curiosity may begin. She may notice the time of day when you usually contacted her. She may look at her phone out of habit. She may see something you would have found funny and think about sending it. She may open an app and notice that your name is no longer appearing. At first, the thought may be simple: he has not contacted me. Then it becomes a question: why has he not contacted me? That question matters because your old pattern may have taught her that you always return. After every disagreement, you reached out. Whenever she became distant, you moved closer. Whenever she created silence, you filled it. She may have believed that regardless of what happened, your attention would remain available. Then the pattern changes: no morning message, no explanation, no reaction to her posts, no attempt to reopen the conversation, no emotional speech. The man who used to chase is no longer chasing. She may wonder whether you finally accepted the ending, whether you became tired, whether your feelings changed, whether someone else has your attention, whether she pushed you further than she intended. But do not become addicted to imagining these questions. Curiosity is not commitment. A woman wondering why you disappeared does not automatically mean she wants a relationship. She may be surprised because a familiar source of attention is gone. She may be curious because the predictable pattern changed. She may miss being contacted without being ready to give you anything different. This is why your silence must be stronger than your need to interpret every small reaction. A story view is not a decision. A like is not an apology. A cryptic song is not communication. A mutual friend saying she asked about you is not a relationship. Real interest eventually requires real movement. Until then, stay grounded. As curiosity grows, memory may begin changing the emotional picture. Near the end of a relationship, people often focus on what is wrong. Every disagreement feels larger, every difference feels heavier, every mistake becomes evidence that the relationship is failing. But after enough distance, the mind may begin recovering details that were hidden beneath the conflict. She may remember the way you made her laugh when she was stressed, the way you listened when nobody else seemed to understand, the way you noticed small changes in her mood, the places you went together, the private jokes nobody else would understand, the way your voice sounded at the end of a difficult day. The comfort of being known by someone who had seen more than the public version of her mirror is rarely logical. It appears through ordinary moments, a familiar road, a particular meal, a song, a time of night, a phrase someone else uses, a difficult day when she instinctively wants the kind of support you once gave. This is where absence may begin feeling different. At first, your silence removed pressure. Now it may reveal what your presence had provided. But no contact does not erase the reasons the relationship ended. If you were dishonest, controlling, disrespectful, or emotionally unstable, she may remember those things too. She may miss parts of you while knowing she does not want the relationship again. She may feel warmth toward the memories and still believe distance is necessary. Human feelings can be complicated. Missing you does not always mean returning to you is healthy. That is why you should not wait for nostalgia to solve problems that require maturity. If the connection ever returns, both people must bring more than emotion. They must bring awareness, accountability, communication, change behavior. Otherwise, the same memories that pull you together will lead back to the same problems that pushed you apart. After memory comes comparison. This does not always mean she is comparing you to another man. She may simply be comparing her current life with the emotional experience she had when you were present. She may notice that nobody asks about certain parts of her day. Nobody remembers the details she once mentioned casually. New attention may feel exciting but shallow. Freedom may feel peaceful but unfamiliar. She may realize that being desired is not the same as being deeply understood. She may receive attention from several people and still miss the emotional safety of one person. But do not sit around hoping everyone else disappoints her. Your worth does not increase because another man fails. Your confidence should not depend on her discovering that other connections are less meaningful. If you are secretly waiting for life to punish her, you are not healing. You are still emotionally attached to the outcome. A grounded man says, "What I gave was real." She is free to recognize it or not. My life will continue either way. That is strength. Because comparison may create appreciation, but it may also reveal incompatibility. She may compare the peace she has now with the tension she felt near the end. She may recognize positive parts of the relationship and still decide that the overall dynamic was unhealthy. No contact does not control the conclusion. It creates the conditions for an honest conclusion. That honesty is useful even when it does not give you the answer you wanted. Then another thought may begin entering her mind. What if he is really gone? This is different from simple curiosity. Curiosity asks where you went. The fear of permanent loss asks whether the door is closed. Perhaps she assumed you would eventually contact her. Perhaps she believed your feelings were too strong for you to stay away. Perhaps she felt safe knowing that even if she did not choose you clearly, you were still available emotionally. Your silence removes that certainty. She may begin wondering whether you have accepted the breakup, whether you are rebuilding, whether you are meeting someone new, whether she could contact you and receive the same version of you that was once waiting. This can create emotion. But be careful. Fear of losing access is not always love. Sometimes a person does not want the relationship, but also does not want to lose the reassurance of being wanted. She may dislike the idea of you moving on while remaining unwilling to meet your needs. She may become jealous without becoming clear. She may test the door without being ready to walk through it. That is why you cannot measure sincerity by emotion alone. You measure it through effort. Does she contact you directly? Does she continue the conversation? Does she acknowledge what happened? Does she take responsibility? Does she clearly express what she wants? Does her effort continue after she receives reassurance? Those questions protect you from confusing fear of loss with readiness for love. Now, imagine a man named Daniel. For 3 weeks, he has not contacted his ex. Every morning, he wakes up hoping today will be the day she reaches out. He trains, he works, he tells his friends he is moving forward. But every night, he checks her profile. He notices she viewed one of his stories. His heart starts racing. He thinks she is watching. She misses me. He opens their conversation and types, I hope you are doing okay. Before sending it, he remembers something. The last 5 times he contacted her, she responded politely but never moved the connection forward. She accepted reassurance, then disappeared again. Daniel finally asks himself the honest question: do I want to communicate or do I want relief? The answer is relief. He wants a reply to calm the fear that she has forgotten him. So he deletes the message, not because he is playing a game, because he realizes that another reply will not heal the deeper problem. The deeper problem is that his peace still depends on what she does next. That night, he puts the phone away, the loneliness remains. But for the first time, he allows himself to feel it without handing responsibility for it to her. That is the moment no contact begins changing him, not when she misses him, when he stops using her attention as emotional medicine. That is the turning point most men miss. They spend so much time asking what no contact is doing to her that they fail to notice what it is supposed to do to them. It should reveal your dependence, your impulsiveness, the wounds that make you chase unavailable people, the habits that make silence feel unbearable, the parts of your life you neglected while trying to keep someone else interested, because getting a message from her without rebuilding yourself may only restart the same cycle. She contacts you, you feel immediate relief, you respond with too much energy, you rush into emotional conversation, you give full access before anything has changed. Then she feels pressure again, she pulls back, you chase. Nothing was repaired. The silence merely reset the tension for a few days. That is why no contact must become more than waiting. It must become reconstruction. Here is your 7 day reset. For 7 days, do not message her first. Do not check her stories. Do not ask mutual friends what she is doing. Do not post anything designed to make her jealous or curious. Do not reread old conversations after midnight. Do not search for hidden signs that she misses you. And do not make emotional decisions when you are tired, lonely, or angry. For 7 days, place that energy into training, work, money, sleep, discipline, faith, emotional control, and rebuilding your identity. Train your body consistently, but do not punish it. Eat properly, clean your room, organize your work, finish one responsibility you have been avoiding, set a small financial target, reduce the time you spend holding your phone. Write down what you feel instead of sending it to her. Plan your next day before you sleep. This plan is not designed to make her wonder where you are. It is designed to prove that you can survive not knowing what she thinks. That is confidence. Confidence is not believing she will definitely return. Confidence is knowing that you will remain standing if she does not. Every time you resist checking her profile, you rebuild control. Every time you refuse to send a panic message, you rebuild dignity. Every time you complete your work while missing her, you rebuild self trust. And self trust is what heartbreak usually damages first. You promised yourself you would stop chasing, then loneliness made you break the promise. You promised yourself you would stop checking, then curiosity made you break it. You promised yourself you would protect your peace, then one story view made you abandon it. No wonder you feel weak. You have trained yourself not to trust your own decisions. The way back is not through motivation, it is through keeping small promises under emotional pressure. That is how a man becomes solid again. Now, while you are rebuilding, her thoughts may move toward regret. She may begin asking whether the ending had to happen the way it did, whether temporary emotion created permanent damage, whether she expected too much without communicating it, whether she withdrew instead of working through the problem, whether she misjudged your intentions, whether she took consistent effort for granted because it was always available. Regret does not always arrive dramatically. Sometimes it appears as one quiet question late at night: did I make a mistake? But regret is not the same as readiness. She may regret losing your presence, but still lack the emotional skills required for a healthy relationship. She may miss you, but remain too proud to contact you. She may believe she made a mistake, but fear repeating the past. She may regret how she treated you without wanting reconciliation. Do not turn possible regret into a guarantee. You are not building a life around what she may secretly feel. You are watching what she openly chooses. High motion cannot create a relationship. Clear action can. Eventually, she may reach a decision point, contact you, or remain silent. She may write a message and delete it. She may look at your profile and close the app. She may ask a friend whether contacting you is a good idea. She may wonder whether you will reject her. She may imagine the conversation becoming awkward. She may convince herself that you have already moved on. You cannot know, and trying to know will make you lose yourself again. Her decision belongs to her. Your responsibility is preparing yourself for either outcome. If she contacts you, do not treat the message like proof that everything is fixed. A hey is not reconciliation. And I miss you is not accountability. A late night message is not a relationship. A story reply is not clear intention. Stay calm if she says, hey, you can say, hey, hope you're doing well. Then let her reveal why she contacted you. Do not ask 10 questions. Do not immediately explain how much you missed her. Do not carry the entire conversation because you fear she may disappear again. If she says, I miss you, you can say, I hear you. What made you reach out? If she says, I've been thinking about us, you can say, I understand. What do you want to do with that? If she asks to meet, agree only if you can remain emotionally controlled. You can say, we can talk, but I am not rushing back into the old dynamic. Those words are not tactics, they are protection against hope moving faster than evidence. Because she may have reflected sincerely, she may understand what she lost, she may be ready to take responsibility, but she may also be lonely. She may miss your comfort. She may want to confirm that you are still available. She may contact you after another disappointment. You do not need to accuse her of anything. Let time expose the intention. Does she contact you consistently? Does she speak clearly? Does she acknowledge her part in the breakup? Does she respect your boundaries? Does she make effort after receiving reassurance? Does she behave differently when the emotional moment passes? Trust should grow at the speed of evidence, not at the speed of your relief. If she returns with confusion, do not become her emotional waiting room. If she says, I miss you, but I do not know what I want, believe the entire sentence. Do not hear only the part that comforts you. She may miss you. And she may still be unable to offer a relationship. You can say, I understand, take the time you need, but I am not returning to an unclear situation. Then step back. If she asks for friendship while you still want more, do not agree because you are afraid of losing all access. Friendship will keep you close enough to hope and too close to heal. You can say, I respect you, but friendship is not healthy for me right now. No anger, no threat, just honesty. Now, what if she never contacts you? This is the outcome your mind keeps trying to avoid. She may think about you and still remain silent. She may miss you and still decide not to return. She may remember the good and accept that the relationship should stay over. She may feel nothing strong enough to create action. You must become strong enough to live without knowing which one is true. Because no contact that only works if she returns is not self respect, it is a bargain. You're saying, I will stop chasing if you eventually reward me. That means your life is still controlled by her decision. Real no contact says, I cannot control whether you return, but I will no longer destroy my peace trying to force you. That is freedom. If she stays gone, it does not automatically mean she never cared. It means she is not choosing to build a relationship with you. That is the information that matters. A healthy relationship cannot survive through hidden feelings. It requires communication, availability, consistency, respect, mutual effort. Do not fall in love with what you believe someone feels secretly while ignoring what they choose openly. That is how men lose years. Now ask yourself something uncomfortable. Do you actually want to know what she thinks? Or do you only want confirmation that she misses you? Would you accept the truth if she feels relieved and does not want to return? Would you accept it if she misses you but believes the relationship was unhealthy? Would you still want her back if nothing about her behavior had changed? Or do you simply want her return to reverse the pain of rejection? Sometimes a man is not waiting for love, he is waiting for validation. He wants her message to prove that he mattered. He wants her regret to repair his confidence. He wants her return to erase the humiliation of being left. But confidence borrowed from someone's attention disappears the moment their attention changes again. You need a confidence she cannot give and cannot remove. Confidence built through discipline, through work, through boundaries, through responsibility, through accepting reality without begging it to become different. Rebuild your body because strength stabilizes your mind. Rebuild your money because your future needs options. Rebuild your routine because chaos makes heartbreak louder. Strengthen your faith or your guiding principles because attention is too unstable to become the foundation of your identity. Rebuild your standards because pain has shown you where you abandoned them. Decide what your next relationship must contain: clear communication, mutual effort, respect, emotional availability, consistency, accountability. Standards are not demands you use to control another person. They are decisions about where you will place your time, love, and energy. That is your power. You cannot control what she thinks during no contact. You can control what kind of man exists when the silence ends. Will you still be waiting beside the phone? Or will you have created a life that no longer stops for one notification? Will one message erase every boundary? Or will you be calm enough to evaluate what she actually brings? Will her silence make you bitter or will it make you wiser? Do not let heartbreak turn you cruel. Do not decide all women manipulate. Do not punish the next person for what this person did. That is not strength, that is pain wearing armor. A mature man learns without poisoning his ability to love. He says, I will not chase permanent confusion. He does not say, I will never care again. He says, I will observe behavior. He does not say, nobody can be trusted. He says, trust will grow through consistency. He remains warm, but his warmth has boundaries. He remains loyal. But his loyalty requires reciprocity. He remains patient, but patience no longer means waiting forever while another person decides whether he matters. So, what may a woman think about during no contact? At first, she may feel relief. Then she may notice the missing pattern. Curiosity may grow. Memories may return. Comparison may reveal what your presence once provided. The possibility of permanent loss may create emotion. She may question whether the breakup was a mistake. She may think about contacting you. She may contact you. She may feel all of this and still remain silent. Or she may accept the ending and move forward. You cannot know. And your peace begins when you stop believing that you must know. If she reaches out with clarity, listen. If she takes responsibility, observe her consistency. If she brings confusion, protect your distance. If she never contacts you, continue building. Because the deepest truth is this: what she thinks about during no contact is not more important than what you become during no contact. She may be thinking about you, but your life cannot remain trapped inside the question. And in the next video, you will learn how to tell whether her first message after no contact comes from genuine regret, temporary loneliness, or the fear that she is finally losing access to you.